So welcome to today's episode of Thompson Essentials. We're so glad you guys are watching. Give us a like, a follow, I don't know, whatever it all is. So we're just super excited to be here and be able to talk to you a little bit today about anti-inflammatory foods. There is so many great foods out there that you can eat. I know everybody battles with chronic inflammation in different areas. You know, almost everybody, probably like 50% of people have some sort of autoimmune or some kind of chronic inflammation. So we want to just empower you with some foods that you can use in your own kitchen at home. You don't got to go out and buy no fancy supplements. This is something that you probably already have in your kitchen, or you need to. So let me just go ahead and start with those foods. There is a lot of great foods out there. Let's start with some of the spices that are anti-inflammatory. So turmeric or curcumin, we have talked about that before on the show, but that is an excellent spice or herb. So that's a great plant. Ginger, garlic, cinnamon, cloves, rosemary, and basil. Oh my gosh, I literally have grown my own basil this year. So I'm super excited. My basil plant is like huge, and I try to use basil in a lot of my recipes, but I literally don't grow everything. I try to grow a few little things, but I'm just not home enough, to be honest. But basil must be super hardy because I have so much basil plant. Yep. But that is excellent, you know, anti-inflammatory compound foods that you can add into your recipes. Also, the fruits we eat. So what's some good fruits? So everybody needs to know about berries. So what type of berries? So you want to do blueberries. Those are absolutely the number one, like top of the list foods to buy. And then strawberries, raspberries, blackberries. I think we have blackberries in our bushes right now.
We do.
So.
And blackberries are arguably my favorite.
Yeah, they're really good. And I think our puppy really likes them too. We find her over there eating.
We have a Doberman that eats blackberries off of the briar bush. Never seen anything like it, but she does.
But hey, at least she's getting her anti-inflammatory foods in.
I guess so.
Right. So also cherries. Cherries are an amazing fruit. And oranges and apples. And let's remember this, especially the skin, but you want to get organic apples because those are the ones that there's a lot of pesticide on the apples. So organic apples. Grapes, that's another great food. Those you definitely want to do the red or the purple for the anti-inflammatory properties. And those are another thing you would want to do organic. Pomegranate and pineapples. Pineapples contain, is it called bromelain? I think that's the word, bromelain. But the pineapples are excellent source of anti-inflammatory properties. So those foods on the fruit list are going to be your go-to. So we'll be linking in the list of the foods so you can go back and you can print it and have that little list for your grocery store
shopping. It can be overwhelming.
Yeah, it is. But the anti-inflammatory foods are so key essentials for these chronic conditions most people battle with. Also, healthy proteins. So some great healthy proteins, that would be like a good fatty fish like salmon, sardines. Ew, I'm not eating sardines. And you know
so
what?
Good for you.
Yeah.
And the fat in them is amazing.
Yeah.
But just eat them right straight out of the can.
I love me some salmon.
A lot of people love it like that.
But not sardines. I love me some salmon. So eat your
mackerel too, same.
And yeah, mackerel. That is not typically a fish that I prefer to cook.
It's really oily, but the oils in it are fantastic for you.
Right. Tuna. Okay, I love me some tuna. Yes. Tuna is excellent. Next up, we want to do foods that are plant-based proteins like chickpeas. Chickpeas and beans. Those are great things.
So are you saying I can have hummus?
Oh yeah, hummus.
Olive oil and hummus together.
Yes.
I love it.
Hummus is a great, excellent. Then you can dip your little, all your little healthy vegetables in there. We like to do broccoli and carrots, cauliflower, celery, all the great foods with the hummus. Also, that healthy meat is grass-fed beef. You want to make sure that you're getting a good grass-fed beef. Those are lean grass-fed beefs that are really good for you. And then you want to do, if you choose to, tofu. That's another great protein. A lot of people do protein from their, if they're vegan or they do the tofu. That's
some people just don't like meat. That sometimes you just get it where you don't have a taste for meat.
So, like for real, I could go like all vegan. I could totally do it. My family would die if I went vegan.
Yeah, you live in a boy household, so.
So, they all leaving now. I'm empty nesting, so who knows what I might have you eating. Anyway, next up, we have the farm eggs.
Yes.
We need to remember our fresh, free-range farm eggs. So if you got chickens in your yard, that's an excellent source. One day we'll probably have chickens in our yard.
Yes.
But for now, I really love my farmer friends that bring me eggs at work.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I need to send a text message out to my girl that's got eggs.
You guys try in your local area, even if you're like in a pretty urban area, try to find someone that has local eggs.
Right.
Because that's way by far better than just, going to your supermarket, your grocery store and grabbing eggs off the shelf. I mean, obviously some brands have better reputations than others.
Yeah.
But still at the end of the day, you're grabbing something off a shelf versus if you had a local person you knew, I'd take that local person.
Know your farmer.
Yes.
For
absolutely,
sure.
Absolutely. How about, as far as antioxidants go, I've never really thought about this. I feel odd, but I have not thought about this. Vegetables.
Vegetables.
Any antioxidant vegetables you can think of?
Oh my gosh, yes, there's so many. That's a long list, but let's start with foods that are leafy and green.
Okay.
So like spinach and lettuce
Yes.
and collards and turnips and all the great foods.
What about Brussels sprouts?
Oh, Brussels sprouts, they're excellent. And
How do you cook those exactly? Because they're so good when you cook them.
Well, that's a whole, I can't talk about that. That'll take me 30 minutes.
Oh, sorry.
But there's some really, really good ones that we do in the oven.
Yes.
With some
They're so
big
good.
balsamic vinegar. I like to go to the olive oil store and I like to get my vinegars over there at Enterprise at the olive oil store. They got some great, just some darker vinegars too. You can do whatever vinegar flavors you want. There's like so many choices. So you want to just like really just, I guess it's called braise them, and then you glaze them and do them in the oven. Those are so good. Oh my gosh, I love those. But Brussels sprouts, excellent choice. And then cauliflower, that's an excellent, excellent food. Beets, I don't really like beets. But sometimes I go places and get like a juice or something and they'll put like beets in it and I don't really taste the beets. It's got to be like overpowered with other foods to make a juice. Like in your juicer.
Yeah, beets have a strong taste.
Yeah, but they're so good. Put them in your juicer.
So good for you.
You can put them in the juicer with all your other like berries and like stevia and just kind of like, I guess, hide the taste. Or greens, throwing in some greens, that's spinach. In your juicer, those are great. And then, oh my goodness, my favorite, sweet potatoes. I love me some sweet potatoes, and sweet potatoes are excellent for the anti-inflammatory properties.
Yeah, I could care less if I ever saw another potato. White potato, sweet potato, doesn't matter. But Miss Amy loves a sweet potato.
Well, sweet potatoes is your anti-inflammatory potato. Your white potatoes, you better run because those cause inflammation, and those are not my friend.
Yeah, they get on you too if you're not careful.
Right. And then bell peppers. I love me some bell peppers. We use those a lot when we cook. You can do so much with bell peppers. Those are excellent. You can use them, cut them up, use them for your dipping with your hummus, or you can put them in your salads. You can put them in all your cooking recipes that are, veggie friendly ones. And then carrots. Carrots are so good for anti-inflammatory properties. I know I always heard carrots are so good for your vision. Well, they're also good for inflammation. So we want to eat carrots. And then red cabbage. Specifically red cabbage. Cabbage is a great food, but the red cabbage is really good. So if you can ferment your cabbage, that's an excellent thing to do. Or just, use it in your salad. Cut it up, use it in your salad, or cook it in your stews and your things that you're sauteing. Those are really, really a good way to put your good red cabbage in your recipes. And then also nuts. Scott loves some nuts.
Yes, they're so easy to grab some. I had some just before we started filming. They're always the right temperature. They're always ready. Or, you can travel with them.
Perfect food.
Yeah, you can throw them in your purse, your backpack, whatever.
Yeah, wherever we go, we usually have some nuts. Either some almonds or some cashew. I can't have almonds because they're on my food. Yeah, I can't have almonds, but he loves almonds. So I have to do other nuts like cashews.
Cashews, I think probably everybody knows at this point, cashews are probably arguably the best tasting nut. And they have fantastic fat and oils in them for you, but be careful how much you take or at a time, how much you're eating, because they are really high in fat. And sometimes you can get over calories out from fat. And
chia seeds, those are excellent nuts and seeds for you. And the flax seed, the pumpkin seed, the hemp seeds. Those are all excellent. Those are a little harder to cook with. I like to use those in like salad dressings. When I make my oil and vinegar salad dressings, I might throw in some chia seed or maybe, just some seeds of any of the flaxseed, pumpkin, or hemp. You can just throw those in the salads or sprinkle them on your salads. Also in your smoothies. or your juice. Like you can blend those in. I love my Vitamix machine, like to use that. That's a great way to get in, you know, the foods that you want to consume, like a lot of, like spinach. You could put a lot of spinach in your Vitamix machine, throw in some kind of like berries, and then some coconut milk or some almond milk for y'all, not for me. I do coconut milk, like I was saying earlier, for my food sensitivities. And then also another great thing is the beverages that are, you know, it's so important to drink foods that are really good for you. Like we were saying, the smoothies are great, adding in those foods and making smoothies, but there's other simpler things to do, like green tea. I love green tea, but you got to be careful with your green tea because a lot of the ones you buy, they have sugar added to them. So it's best to make your own green teas at home or get an unsweet green tea. I mean, there are so many great green teas out there and a lot of other herbal teas. There are great herbal teas out there, ginger, turmeric, and many other flavored green teas that you can find. But you want to be careful with the sugars. Those are easily found in the teas. Also, water. I love to just take some lemon, Scott and I. That's what we do. Like when we have a meal, we always drink water with our meal because that helps us. We have water all day long, but if you just go ahead, if you were to go out somewhere and just order water with lemon, it is better because you're adding that lemon and that water, and that helps you get more lemon water in. Lemon water is an excellent, or you can add cucumber. A lot of restaurants don't do that, but at home you can add your lemon and your cucumber, and it just makes a really refreshing drink. And then
water, when you're out and about, if you're eating out and you just order water, number one, you're saving money instead of spending $250, $350, whatever a drink, and over time that adds up, especially if you have a family. Every time you go out, if you just condition everyone, our kids since they were little bitty, we always order water and put lemon in it. But what I'm getting at there also is obviously water's better, but if you're out and about, sadly your water's probably got chemicals in it because it's just tap water at your local restaurants. But they're also, I hope we have it on our website, Thompson Essentials, soon up and coming, is you can get your own little thermos thing with a filter inside of it.
The healthy water bottle.
Yes, that takes all that out. So when you're out and about, you can take that water you ordered, pour it in your thermos, and then it filters it as you drink it. And that negates all those chemicals that you would be getting by getting tap water at a restaurant. And there's actually some out there, correct me, help me with this, Amy. Doesn't it also add iodine, doesn't it hydrolyze your water in some point?
That's correct. There's
not just filter it, but also adds to it.
Right. There's actually some great ones out there. I won't name any brands because I just won't talk about specific brands. We're still trying to research like which one of those is actually the better product.
And have on our site
but they're excellent. That's an excellent source, is to get your own iodized bottle.
Right.
So, you know, you find one out there, research it and get it. I know there's some great ones we'll be linking in on our website soon once we have some more specific details on
an
those.
up and coming episode, I'm going to talk about water specifically, how important it is and overlooked, very overlooked, just water in general.
Right. Water is so important.
And the quality of it's important.
Right. And some other anti-inflammatory foods. And your favorite, Dr. Scott, what is that?
Chocolate's got to be.
Yes. So dark chocolate in moderation, of course, like we always say. It's okay to have, you know, a little treat.
So traditional chocolate, clearly you don't need much of that because it's so sugared up and so refined and so processed, et cetera, et cetera. But, you know, used to get really dark chocolate and nobody would touch it. The kids wouldn't eat it. So I had me a little chocolate stash, right? And it was not very sugary because we're talking 80, 90% what I call cocoa, but technically it's called what, if we pronounce it right?
Cacao?
Cacao, yeah, there you go.
I think I said it right.
I think so. But in any event, when it's that high percentage, it doesn't have any sugar in it. So most folks, it's kind of bitter. Most people probably won't like it.
I do not like it.
And the kids would never eat it. But over time, they've gotten to where they like it. And now they're eating my chocolate again. I'm like, dude, what's going on here?
Right.
So I'll try to stash it and hide it in different places of the house.
But that's like 70% cacao or higher. So you wouldn't want to go get some like 40% dark chocolate because
that's more like regular milk chocolate.
You might as well go get some peanut M&Ms. You're for real favorite. Your weakness, we all got a weakness. I just called you out. But anyway, that's his vice. So sometimes he gets that little treat and he has to get his. But those are so toxic. So the better choice for your dark chocolate would be 70% or higher.
I like 80, 85. 90 is getting really tart. It's hard to eat.
Right. And some other great snacks would be like a fermented food like kimchi or sauerkraut. Those are great foods. And kefir, yogurt. But we want yogurt that is, what type of yogurt?
It can't be the sugared up, how do I not name any brands, but just look at your label. Make sure it doesn't say 37 grams of sugar in a serving of 2 ounces or whatever it is.
Right.
Just watch your label. But I like plain unflavored Greek yogurt. It's going to have a higher protein content. It's a little more expensive, but if you look at cost per ounce of protein, it's a pretty good source when you look at it from that perspective. And it's so good for you, right? So I like mine plain. If I want to have it in flavor, I'll add that after. So I might add a little honey, a little cinnamon, whatever the case may be, some fruit of my choice.
Right. And apple cider vinegar. There's so many great salad dressing recipes or ways to cook with apple cider vinegar. That's a great thing. So definitely you want to consume a lot of apple cider vinegar. And that also is another topic, which is we want to talk about the whole grains. So whole grains, those type of whole grains that are healthy for us would not be like, hey, don't eat bread ever. But if you do eat a whole grain type food, you want to get a whole grain, quinoa, brown rice, oat, buckwheat, millet. Those are hard to find in a healthier bread. So that's like very much hard to find.
Or you could just not eat bread at all. I know. Did y'all see that? The discontent. I don't care about bread really. I mean, I would never miss it if I never even knew what it was. Most people, and Miss Amy included, like some good bread.
Yeah, just being gluten-free is always great.
Yeah,
that's a great way to be. So we want to, but we also want to try to, if we're going to consume a healthier bread, we want to make sure it's got some things in it that are good, that are healthy, like the quinoa and the brown rice and the oats and the buckwheat. And
I don't know what area you might be in at the time you're viewing this, but what part of the country, but Dave's Killer Bread is a fantastic source.
Right. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I don't know if where all they are, but they're definitely in our area in the Southeast.
Right. Yes. Or if you can make your own bread, that's a really good thing.
Better.
If you're going to do that.
Agreed.
So support your friends who do that, because that's a great thing.
It is.
Also, we want to talk about something real important. Foods to avoid. Like, these are foods we want to like run from, like we don't want to eat them ever. We want to avoid sugar at all costs. There's so many hidden sugars, so you're going to get enough sugar in your diet. So don't add sugar. We want to eliminate sugar as much as possible. And we don't want to eat processed meats. Foods like processed, like sausage and like sandwich meats and all those things that have all these preservatives and they're ultra processed. Nitrites. Avoid at all costs.
Neurotoxic.
Right.
Very bad for your nervous system.
Right. And so we don't want to do refined carbs. Like, you're going to get carbs in the, like sweet potatoes and all your quinoa and all those, which are good carbs for you. But we don't want to do like refined carbs. And this is really hard. Y'all, we're raised in South Alabama, but we don't want to do deep fried foods. Never eat fried foods.
Yep.
If you were going to try to do something like a healthier fried food, I would say you want to do like an almond flour or like a coconut flour, and then use your coconut oil.
Yes.
I mean, we do that sometimes if we just have to have like some fried chicken. Even got the mother-in-law using coconut oil and making healthy fried chicken, because my boys do love some fried chicken, but only on an occasion. So when we like make our southern healthy fried chicken, we use that. We use the coconut oil and the coconut flour.
Also, and your little kids might like this, almond flour, cut up pieces of chicken that you're doing this at home, of course. So cut up chicken nuggets, almond flour, baked in the oven with coconut oil drizzled on them, whatever you want to do. And then careful with your ketchup after the fact. Typical traditional brands of ketchup going to be loaded with chemicals and sugar.
Oh yeah, lots of sugar in the ketchup.
Careful there. Read your label. Be careful.
Right. In the chicken nuggets, you forgot, you do add eggs. You add eggs. Yeah, you do like you do with chicken. Normally you use your.
That helps your flour stick, right?
Yeah.
Your almond flour stick.
Yes. So you got to So you put that egg and you egg wash it, the chicken, and then you flour it in your healthier flour. And then you drizzle or spray it with your coconut oil. And then you pop them in the oven and bake them. And they are so good. Little bite sizes. I used to do them all the time when the boys were little. And
because a lot of times little kids get finicky. They're like, they won't eat it unless it's chicken nuggets. They don't eat nothing else. Fried food from fast food drive-through, fried food. The worst of the worst.
That's a great thing, though. You can cook in advance and you can have like extra of it for your meal plan or your lunch boxes for the week.
Send to school. Yes.
Yeah, for your kids. So Yep.
We talked
Chicken
about that in a
nuggets.
prior episode about replacing your kids' lunchroom food with your own food, and meal prepping is critical in a lot of things.
Yes, and we want to stay away from trans fats, as well as we want to avoid excessive alcohol. So, you know, avoid that alcohol. Any reason that you can avoid alcohol is a good reason to me.
Yep.
Okay, and next, we want to make sure that we avoid all artificial additives and preservatives. Those are definitely going to counteract against the anti-inflammatory. So we want to eat foods that are anti-inflammatory. And artificial junk in our foods is like so bad.
Yes.
So
absolutely. And you may not have been on your radar, but salad dressing. This is a pet peeve of mine, right? So it's a long time ago, before I knew this, we think we were doing really great. We go out, if we went somewhere commercially out to a restaurant, like, I'm going to get a salad because that's not going to be loaded up with all the extra carbs and so on and so forth. But if you're not real careful, you can get a really good salad and then put salad dressing on it that you might as well have had this huge fast food hamburger and fries, because you just drenched it
with vegetable oil and soybean oil and all that.
And tons of calories, tons of sugar. So the best thing to do in that regard is olive oil and vinegar, no exception, if you want to be safe. And then, you know, a lot of restaurants won't have that though. They may bring oil and vinegar out to you, but it's canola oil. Or it's vegetable oil. Not really, it's not olive oil. So the easy way to fix that is you always bring it with you in a container that's already mixed together. And we have one that lives in Amy's purse, a little shaker thing. Just for that purpose. And you know, some people might like, what are these guys doing, pulling salad dressing out of their purse?
One day recently, we went to our favorite barbecue place and ordered a salad, and we brought our whole olive oil and vinegar.
We didn't have a little thing, so we brought from our office. We went to lunch. And we brought like a huge container of it. And we're like, holy cow, these folks are for real.
But you know what? It was a good salad too.
In
fact, I'd love to go get me a good salad from there today. That sounds really good, actually. So,
well, we got to wrap it up then.
So we're going to have to wrap it up here on anti-inflammatory foods. And it has just been really fun today. I'm talking about anti-inflammatory foods, and I am going to go inside, and I am about to talk to my middle son about cooking me some chicken curry so I can have a good meal tonight when I get home. Got him home for another few days from Auburn, so I might as well take advantage of it, right?
And he's a fantastic cook.
Yes, excellent. He loves to cook with turmeric, and he loves to cook with curry. So I'm going to go in there and pop out the curry recipe, and we're going to have chicken curry tonight.
Sounds great to me. All right, guys. As always, comment any questions you have. Also, in the comments, any subject you'd like to hear about in the future episodes, do that as well. And I'm Scott.
And I am Amy.
Thompson Essentials. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys. See ya.